Yes.
Ooh, ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh,
ski Yee-Haw.
Yee-Haw.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the MiscELENAeous podcast. I'm your host, Elena.
Woo-hoo.
Woo! We're here with producer Madelyn.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about absurd current events.
Yes.
Hang on one second while I take a sip from my very reasonably priced pink water bottle.
Nice. I'm going to take my unreasonably priced Stanley Cup that I did not get at 3 a.m.
Okay, listen.
I really didn't. That's not me.
That's not you, and it's not me. What I will say, we're jumping right in.
We are. Yeah, we were.
We're
man,
jumping
I segued
right in.
that. Yeah.
I will say, I didn't think I would be a Stanley Cup girl
Neither did I.
for a couple reasons. One, while I do make very irresponsible financial decisions, it's usually not based on like a health reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did y'all listen to the last episode?
They should have.
They should have. It was a good one. That's not true. I went into mad debt for my health. Still am. Please subscribe and buy merch. But I'm just like, do I want to spend $50 on a cup or like new shoes? So that's a lot of where like my motivation comes from. I don't drink a lot of water anyway. So again, a third reason, I have cups. I already have cups. And I know what a lot of y'all are thinking at home. Elena, you have shoes. The shoes I'm getting are different. Again, I know what you're thinking. A cup could be different. Is it that different though?
Yeah.
Is it that different? I guess it can be, sure, function. And if you know this, if you're like a 1%er, if you're a misfit, you know that I love this certain type of cup. And it is not the reasonably priced little pink cup I just took a sip out of. It is the Contigo Shake and Go because it has an auto close lid and the place you put the straw into also auto seals. So that, and I like to put flavoring in my water.
Mm-hmm.
So I can fill up my cup, put my water, ice and water in, put my little Mio water flavoring, shake, and go.
Wow.
I wonder where they got the name. So I have a bunch of those, and they're like double insulated so they don't sweat or whatever. They're great. Do they hold the ice cold temperature or heat? I guess I assume there's the functionality in the Stanley Cup for that as well.
Yes.
No. I'm also fine drinking room temperature water. It's apparently better for you.
It is. I can't do the room. I mean, I can. If it's there, I'll drink it.
Right.
But I would much rather have
A cold water.
Yeah.
It's winter, so like and I'm cold. My toes are cold 100% of the time. It doesn't really matter. I feel like I could be just balls deep in a volcano and just be like, my toes are a little cold.
Chilly.
But like my face and the rest of me, I'll sweat. But my toes would still be cold.
Maybe that's, I don't know what that is.
It's a journey I'm still working on with my health, maybe. I might need to go into a little bit more debt to figure it out. But that being said, I am now a Stanley Cup girly because, and I actually had a fourth reason why I was never going to become a Stanley Cup girly, and it's because my dumb, stupid car doesn't have cup holders.
Wait, your Mercedes G-Wagon
does
not have cup holders?
It has one cup holder that sits kind of where like your feet go in the passenger seat, and it's a net. So it would fit like a water bottle nicely. It's a net. So I had to purchase on Amazon a cup holder insert. And it does not have the depth or width to even hold a Stanley Cup. Them big boys Stanley Cups.
They're also meant for cup holders. Like they have this little nice bottom. So interesting.
So you would think.
Yeah.
But in order to have cup holders in my vehicle, this particular insert that's an addition, it won't hold. I mean, it would, But like if I make a turn, it just would fall out. Like it would sit there if we're all perfectly still. And I don't know if you've seen me drive. It's not great.
Yeah, people scream on the road. They know she's coming.
Yeah, people are like, get out of here. She's coming. And you can like feel me coming.
The road rumbles.
But so anyway, I did go to a girly Christmas party white elephant thing, and my white elephant gift that I opened was a 2-pack of Stanley Cups, but they were the small size. And by small, I mean regular. Just a normal sized cup. So it doesn't have the big handle. It's not XXL. And it's 2 of them, and they're kind of like monochromatic mismatched. And I have been using her. It's been nice. I have a little apple juice and a little water.
Nice.
So at mine and Madelyn's last meeting, she is a Stanley Cup girly, and she showed up with her Stanley Cup, and I'm like, look at me now.
It was super cute. They are cute.
They are cute, and they are functional, and I do get it. What I don't get, however, is the absurd current event happening in which people are skipping out on a full night's sleep to go wait in line, have Whataburger Uber Eats to them to get a different color of a Stanley Cup that they already own, paying how much do they cost?
Let me look that up really quickly. Here's my thing. I didn't even think they were that cute.
It's just up, and again, you know how much I like the color pink, folks. So I'm like, I get it-ish, but I'm not gonna go stand outside in the cold and wait up all night long for a gosh darn cup.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
Okay, so apparently it says for the 40 ounce, it was $49.95. There's a person on eBay trying to sell it for like $5,000. There's a 300. There's a 200. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, I would actually, in fact, wait outside in the cold all night long for a $50 pink cup that I could resale for $5,000. But I don't see, I mean, God, there's a lot of dumb people in this world. Maybe, I was going to say, what dumbass is going to buy that? But maybe somebody. Maybe somebody's that desperate. People are staying up all night for it.
The thing is
absurd, though. That is an absurd current event.
It is. No, it's absurd. I'm trying to think of like another. It's giving Black Friday.
For the one item, though, and the one kind of silly item. Like Black Friday is almost like cultural tradition,
right.
and it's for the greater good, right?
Yes.
Like you go to the store, you can go to multiple stores, and everything's on mass sale. You can get electronics for 70% off. So you're waiting up all night long on just a regular ass day to get a full priced just cup that you already own in a different color varietal.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
You're a dumbass. Certified dumbass.
The thing is I'm looking at it right now, and I'll insert a picture. Mine is cuter. Like I'm looking at mine right now. It's like the light pink version.
Yeah, that's cuter.
This one, like the font of like the Starbucks / Stanley, it's tiny. It doesn't look good.
I guess we forgot to mention it was a Starbucks Stanley collab. And then could you only buy it at Target?
Yes. Target exclusive.
I just think that's silly. What would you stay up all night and wait for? Like what is there something to you that's worth that?
Maybe like a dinner with Henry Cavill.
Okay.
I think, like, if it was like, you have to wait in this line till 3 a.m., but you have a spot to sit down with Henry Cavill and have dinner.
One-on-one dinner?
Yeah. That would be it. That's the most I could think. I had a hard time trying to think of what would I, like, a product? Probably not. I don't need it that bad.
Yeah, I mean.
What about you?
Maybe the whole entire new Louis Vuitton Western line. Maybe. I don't know. It just dropped, and that's probably worth tens of thousands of dollars and something I would never be able. No, I'm actually not going to say that I would never be able to afford that because that is absolutely not true. I'm a money magnet, baby. I'm a money magnet.
Yes.
Nothing is too expensive for me. It is just overvalued at the time for me. But yeah, not something that I would spend money on, but like how dope is that? Maybe like a private concert from Tyler Childers kind of a thing.
Yeah. Again,
An experience though.
an experience.
It would be something that's like that. Like again, Louis Vuitton is a luxury brand. And this Western line is like a limited edition line. And that's something that I would keep for the rest of my life. That would be vintage pieces. I would, if I ever had daughters, would pass that down to them or could sell that definitely for a way higher up charge than retail price now later.
Yeah.
Like there's no guarantee you're going to buy a $50 Stanley Cup and be able to sell that at a $5,000 price point later.
Yeah, no.
That's damassery.
Well, no, it is. There's nothing else to say.
And if you're a listener and you're a misfit and you're somebody that stood in line and waited for this Starbucks Stanley Cup in a new shade of pink, I want you to know that I love you and I respect your choices. And you can do whatever you want with your time, your lack of sleep, and your financial crisis. I am just going to do something different with mine. But I'm glad you're here. And I hope your water is cold. Or your iced coffee. And I'm glad it's got a lot of cute pink shit all around it. But you're kind of a dumbass.
I think that was really well said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If anything, I hope it was a gift. I hope somebody else stood outside for you. I hope they were thoughtful.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So anyways, absurd current event number 1. The pink Stanley Cup collabed with Starbucks that people are waiting in the cold all night for. Absurd.
Certified absurd.
Certified absurd.
Stamps.
Yeah. Stamped. Okay. Another absurd current event. And we're just going to play this video for y'all, okay?
Okay, a little pop news alert, although these people are not famous per se, but they're all over the internet. Basically, engaged to be married, getting married. The woman says to her fiance, shares with him that she has a lot of trauma around this cake tradition, the cake smashing tradition, and her boundaries weren't respected a lot in her family. It was all about her boundaries being respected, her needs being respected, and even though it's silly and it's the cake, I don't want to do the cake smashing thing. And at their wedding, he takes the piece of cake and he smashes it in her face and thinks it's funny. And she walks out and she's like, no, I told him that this was like a deal breaker for me. And he just ignored me and did it anyway and ruined the dress and my makeup and my hair. Now, is she being a little high maintenance? You could argue that. Is she being too emotional, like everybody is saying, including him? His attempt to get back with her is telling her that she's been really emotional. So is her family. That's gaslighting. I mean, this is, okay, you may think it's silly that it's cake and that's her trauma, but she was explicit with you and she told you what she needed and she told you what it meant. And you as her life partner should respect that. You shouldn't test that. You shouldn't do that in front of hundreds of people, much less on your wedding, right? This is a red flag to me. If he is not respecting your boundaries at this point, is he ever going to respect your boundaries? And the fact that he's minimizing it now, to me, means that he doesn't really get it. So kind of agree with the bride here. But you let me know what you think. It's a controversial question, I know.
I mostly agree with her, except for every time she contradicts herself and says, it's about cake. It's a little silly. This is a controversial topic. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. All. It is absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
This made me mad.
Yeah.
And if you think that is silly or that bride is overreacting for literally leaving her husband on their wedding day because he smashed cake in her face, then I'm praying for you.
Yeah. I hate that. I know everyone has their own way of, showing love or how your relationship is or whatever. But if she explicitly said, I do not want this to happen on her wedding day, which is you both saying, hey, I want to be with you for the rest of our years. It's a commitment. You still decide to do that. Then gaslight her by saying you're being too dramatic.
Not only did she explicitly say, hey, it's my wedding day. This is a popular tradition where people put smash cake in the bride's face. He. I know that it's a thing. It's a tradition.
It shouldn't be a thing. I don't even know where it originates.
Yeah, hate it. Don't do that shit to me.
You're spending hours in makeup.
Bro, don't do that shit.
Mm-mm.
I remember after like Big Brother, actually, like I would get kind of, and you know, so much attention is on us. And probably even inside the house, like I would like do my makeup for like a live show and I would have my lipstick on and then like Mark, my boyfriend at the time, would come over and like be kissing on me and I'm like, not right now. Like I just did all of this for like live primetime network television. Now's not the time to lick me. And so like, and as a man, maybe you don't know that, but once I communicate that to you, then that's a boundary I'd like you to respect. So then when it continues to happen after I've communicated it, I'm going to get kind of annoyed. And so then it makes me look like ew, get off me. I don't want you to kiss me and love on me like a bitch when people see that later. And I'm like, no, I've had a thoughtful, kind conversation about how I don't want, when I put makeup on for a big event or TV, for you to immediately kiss on my face. Can you just respect that? Very simple example, but I would get hate because like you won't even like he's just trying to love on you and you just look like such a bitch. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I put up a boundary and it has been disrespected.
Right.
And so it's like, not only did she say, hey, I don't want to do this silly little tradition because it's my wedding day, makeup, blah, blah, blah. But she has this traumatic backstory where I already didn't want that to happen to me. And then it happened to me. I was injured. Mm-hmm. And so now I have a trauma attached to that. And if you want to think that that's a silly thing, go ahead. But my eyeballs are on my face.
Yeah.
So if somebody's smashing cake on my face and there's decorations and it's potentially like, no, thank you. I really like my face. I think it's so pretty. Yeah. I don't really want to mess it up.
Yeah. No.
I don't want, no, thank you. Especially on my wedding day.
Absolutely. I think the thing is that people don't understand that, like, if you, as he disrespected your boundary, you are going to respond. Mm-hmm. You're not just going to, I mean, some people may not, but most people, if someone pushes you, you are going to respond. You're going to have a responsive thing.
Yeah. Like there's a reaction.
Yeah.
That's science. Look that shit up. Mm-hmm. Science, something, and there's a reaction. Okay, I learned it in 7th grade and I forgot the first half, but somebody taught it to me. So it's just like, I do not blame this bride in any way whatsoever.
Neither do I.
To dead ass. And that, you know, why can't the cake tradition be before the ceremony? Because now you got to go to a whole entire divorce.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is like...
Maybe they hadn't actually signed the papers yet.
Maybe not. Most people do, but I don't know.
The last wedding I went to, they signed the papers after the ceremony.
I mean,
and I was like, interesting.
They said, we need to see how this night goes.
Yeah, dead ass. It was like even after some dances and some part of the reception happened, and I was like, oh, y'all are signing the papers now. Well, interesting.
I mean, I have heard horror stories of really bad wedding
days.
Yeah. So I understand, but I don't blame her at all. I think.
And that I feel for her so much too, though, because it's like, God, you really did think that you found like the love of your life. It was supposed to be the best day of your life.
And like basically day one.
Yeah, it's literally like your wedding day, but also your divorce day. Yeah. Like imagine that. Imagine that. It's your wedding day and your divorce day. That's a big day.
It is. That must have just like cut it out for her. Like once he broke that boundary, she probably was like, there's nothing.
Well, if you can't respect that.
Yeah. What else are you going to respect?
Right. Like if you can't manage to not shove cake in my face, you're probably going to sleep with other chicks.
Dang.
Is the way I see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that is kind of the way our subconscious mind works in a way. You're allowed to have boundaries, and when people break them, you're allowed to leave. And you're not being a bitch and you're not being mean for having a reaction when someone disrespects a boundary. You are respecting yourself.
Absolutely. She's preaching today.
Bible study?
This was Bible study. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling empowered.
Woo! The Lord is here. Felt good.
But no, seriously, like all you said, absolutely, 110,000%.
Yeah. And we deserve that and more.
Yes.
We deserve some men that are going to respect our boundaries and then some.
Yes.
Go out of our way for us, treat us like queens, cherish us, value us, see our worth, and more.
Yes.
And that's what we're getting.
And
nothing less.
Yeah. And listeners out there, you deserve that as well.
You deserve that as well. This is Bible study for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm preaching to the choir, me, and also the people. Okay? Next one. From a wedding to a sex shop?
I mean, that's a very, what's the word? It's the right connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's sequential. There we go.
It's some kind of segue, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all listen to this.
A spat inside a local sex shop turns violent. A deputy arrested. And now we're learning what led to it all.
A deputy.
David DeWitt has been a deputy at the Potawatomi County Sheriff's Office for 6 years, but even longer than that, and it seems most of his money comes from private security, something Christie's Toy Box needed late Monday night.
I said, hey, why don't you take a few days?
Deputy David DeWitt suspended with pay after allegedly leaving a sex toy shop worker battered and bloodied. A new report alleges just before close Monday, DeWitt and a woman walk into Christie's Toy Box off 89th. They argued over a sex toy, the deputy appearing to almost hit the woman, the clerk telling him to calm down. DeWitt responding with an expletive saying he's a cop. When the two brought the device to the counter, DeWitt becoming angry when the clerk asked about buying batteries for it. DeWitt saying another expletive and calling him a fat boy, allegedly punching the clerk in the face several times and the ribs. DeWitt tossed buckets of candy, saying, I can have you arrested, jailed to where you never get out. The police report states just before he left this door, allegedly hit in the back with a very large sex toy. Eventually, though, he would leave. The police report says, getting down I-35 headed south, pulled over near Main Street.
Okay, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
Guys, the caption says, the police arrived and found the employee covered in blood. The employee explained that DeWitt and a woman were in the store, and whenever she wanted something, DeWitt would engage in arguments with her. He told the woman that she didn't need the merchandise because the sex toy was, quote, bigger than him.
Oh, my.
The exchange escalated, leading DeWitt to direct his anger at the employee by going behind the counter and physically assaulting him, resulting in the employee being left covered in blood.
The guy's on crack, right?
It's absurd current event.
Very absurd.
What? Okay, the entitlement of this guy.
Yeah.
And then clearly, I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it. Got little dick syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he won't let his woman buy a sex toy because it's bigger than his dick. And then he's going to fight another person about it all.
Well, the thing is like, did the clerk say something or was the clerk just chilling?
I will say what I hate about this piece of absurd current event is it feels like there's just some missing information.
There's a lot of missing information.
Like,
I was about to say, do you want to act out? Do you want to be her and I be him? Or do you want to be him and I be her?
You choose your fighter. You choose your fighter.
You choose. It's your show. Who do you want to be?
I feel like I should be him.
Okay. Okay. All right. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
2, 1 scene. What's his name?
Something
DeWitt.
Something DeWitt. David DeWitt.
Okay.
What's your name?
Tracy.
Tracy feels right.
Tracy feels right. Hey, David.
Yeah.
So this one, like, shakes, vibrates. It has weird
You
little...
don't need that shit. You got me.
Well, I mean, it is like 12 inches, which you're a little lacking.
No, I'm fine. You don't need that shit. I'm fine. I'm big enough for you.
Okay.
What are you saying?
I'm saying we need something to spice this up.
You saying I'm not man enough?
Yeah, I'm saying it's small.
Well, I'm going to go fight this guy behind the counter.
And scene. I think that was it. I think that's exactly how it went.
I'm going to punch somebody.
And the clerk's, like, playing on their Nintendo DS.
He's just
what?
like, huh? Do y'all need batteries? Ah!
Yeah, y'all need batteries.
Like, how do you get from that to that?
I don't know, unless, like, literally they went around the store forever. But if the clerk was like, she's probably right.
Probably right, guy.
You know, then
you probably do have a tiny cock.
Yeah, it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it just seems like there's definitely
deserve-
information missing.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be beaten up and bloody. The fact that this dude was just waylaying.
And he doesn't deserve to be a cop.
No.
For sure.
Absolutely not.
Or head of any sort of security, or in a relationship with a woman, or allowed in a sex shop. So, I mean, there's a lot going on here.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing I want to say about it is absurd.
Absurd.
An absurd current event. A cop who owned a sheriff, a deputy, something like that, deputy, who also owns his own private security company.
Well, that's it right there.
Exactly. And then the fact, too, that he's like, that's what I hate about when people get into power is then it's just too much power.
Yep.
Now you think that you can you're going to put him in jail because you're doing something illegal? Because you got a tiny cock? And then, too, it makes the streets loud because everybody's revving their engines. And that's the reason I don't like the tiny cock syndrome.
Yeah.
Just be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And be fine with your partner supplementing in the bedroom. Confidence goes a long way, folks.
Absolutely.
When you don't show how insecure you are and you start working on your insecurities and you start believing that you're great and you start using resources that the good Lord gives us, like them shaking, spinning 12-inch dildos.
Yep.
All things work together for the greatest, highest good.
Well, my thing is, if she knew, maybe she didn't, but if he's a volatile guy, I just want to know how that, why would she feel comfortable taking him there anyway?
Right. Yeah. Again, I have so, can we get him on the podcast? Like, I have so many follow-up questions. Like, if you were already insecure about that situation to begin with, why are we going into, and then like, if do you know he has a tiny dick? Why are you bringing a 12-inch dildo into the conversation if you're dating an insecure man? There's just a lot going on there.
Yes.
But it's absurd.
It is absurd.
And that is something I like about it, though. The abuse and whatnot is
absolutely.
Don't do that. But absurd current event. God, it's absurd. People are wild. Speaking of people being wild and absurd current events, can we talk about the fact that Chili's Bar and Grill
redacted.
Redacted. Is like collaborating. I don't know, because I didn't get into it too much, but I did see a post where they're posting about Nicki Minaj and her Pink Friday 2 album release. I don't know if it's an official collaboration. It seems like no. But in what world, this one I guess, is her branding in alignment with Chili's Bar and Grill, but I'm just a little too freaky for them? Absurd current event.
It is absurd. The thing is she's a Red Lobster. That's where she used to work at a Red Lobster. So she's a Red Lobster girly. So the fact that she would potentially switch over chains, which I don't think they actually have a collaboration.
I don't think so either. All I saw was, and we'll put it up on the screen, but they changed our HQ in honor of Pink Friday 2 release, And then hashtag Chili's Grillin' Barbs. And so I don't know if that was just their attempt at trying to get some Chili's attention in relation to her. And they just have pink smoke blowing out of a Chili's establishment. But like, if she's a cheddar biscuit girly, why would they even lean into that? And then if she's out here twerking in thongs and stilettos and singing about her pussy, what's so damn bad about me? I walk with the Lord now.
Seriously.
You know? And the duality of life anyway. But still, like Nicki Minaj is in alignment with your brand, Chili's, but I am a wild card. Me.
She's a mother now.
Me. I got a dog. I just don't. I think it's so absurd. I think it is such an absurd current event.
It is. I also, honestly, I really like Nicki Minaj.
I do too.
I honestly think that she probably doesn't care.
I don't think she does
didn't even
either.
See it.
Probably didn't notice. I think she's at Red Lobster right now.
Honestly, yeah.
I think that Nicki Minaj is honestly twerking at Red Lobster, and I don't think she supports Chili's Bar and Grill.
No.
But why they did that, and they can't even bother to send me a PR package, but definitely can send me a cease and desist. I don't know. I don't know. But all I'm hearing is, so you agree I do have influence.
Yes.
So you agree I do have influence.
So you agree.
So you want me to stop talking about? I'm confused. I just think it's an absurd current event, and I also think that you should buy my merch because Chili's hurt my feelings.
Yep. And also, if you're just on a binging and want to just like 172 hours, I don't know, that's a number that came into my head, of miscellaneous content, there probably is.
Yeah, at least, honestly.
Yeah, so sit down.
Play catch up. Yeah, we're here for you.
Yeah.
We're here for you in your times of need, your times of boredom, your times of traffic. Have you tried masturbating to the MiscELENAeous podcast? I haven't, but I might. I think you should.
Then you can't sell it if you haven't done it.
Exactly. Now I know what I'm doing tonight.
This is a paid advertisement from Applebee's. Just kidding. Sorry.
I wish. Next week. Fingers crossed. If you got them, cross them.
Yeah. Just kidding, Applebee's. We would like to partner, but...
Applebee's, call me. Keep saying it. I'm a manifesting queen. I'm a money magnet. Applebee's, I'm right here for you, baby. Just like you are for me with dollar margaritas every Wednesday. Anyway, so if y'all happen across any absurd current events that we need to discuss on the podcast, please reach out. We have a phone number. It's 817-767-3996. You can leave a voicemail or text. You can also reach out on Instagram at Elena Davies or at MiscELENAeous Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you, producer Madelyn, for chatting.
Of course.
Y'all stay the fuck tuned, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yee Networks.